Today, we're going to talk about investing and saving. Understanding the principles of investing and saving will help you build what we call a financially healthy lifestyle. It'll also allow you to be more generous with all God's blessings and to be a better giver. In the next 8 minutes, I'm going to teach you how to become a millionaire using only $55,000. I'm sure that sounds like it's too good to be true, but it really is possible. And you might say, well, I don't have $55,000, so I guess I'm out. Don't worry, I'm going to make that easier also. Let's put our imaginations to work to learn how. I want you to imagine that you and two of your friends are standing at the top of a snow-covered mountain, and you decide to have a contest to see who can build the largest snowball. You agree to put the snowballs in the back of your truck, which is parked at the bottom of the hill, and take them to your youth pastor's house for a little surprise visit. The three of you each make a snowball about the size of a basketball. Friend number one, he starts by walking down the hill carrying his snowball, and ever so often he stops and tries to pack a little more snow on it. And about halfway down the hill, he gets thirsty, so he actually breaks off some of the snow and eats it and enjoys the melted snow in his mouth. Ultimately, when he gets to the bottom of the hill, there's really not much more than what he started with. Your second friend also walks about halfway down the hill, but she gets the bright idea and decides to start rolling her snowball the rest of the way down the hill. Everyone's amazed to see it quadruple in size by the time it got to the truck. Standing at the top of the hill, you get the genius idea to start rolling your snowball all the way down from the top of the hill. And it grows as it rolls, and it comes to a stop at the bottom of the hill where, to everyone's shock, it's grown larger than your truck. You proudly take a selfie with your massive snowball and go on viral on Insta because you obviously won the snowball building contest. But because you can't possibly lift your mountain-sized snowball into the bed of your truck, your youth pastor is saved from the pending snowball obliteration. In this story, friend number one is the person who knows they need to save money, but they're not really disciplined to save a little bit at a time. In fact, they don't even have a plan. They just throw some money into a savings account every once in a while, and hopefully they don't spend it on every new gaming station that hits the market. Friend number two has a better plan, but she actually started a little later in life. She knows she needs to save money, and finally, when she's about 35 years old, she starts investing in a retirement account. You, on the other hand, are much more disciplined, and you start saving for retirement early in life. You don't have much, but you work hard and you come up with about $7,500. And you want to start a retirement account. And then you make the decision to commit to add $100 per month to your retirement account until you retire. It's just $100. The snowball effect is going to be great for you. I just explained 3 styles of saving money. The first style is the no plan style. You just do something along the way if you have a little bit left over and you don't really plan much. The second one is you wait until you get older and then you start saving. But the third one is the disciplined approach. You start while you are young and you save a little at a time. Remember that I said I'm going to show you how to be a millionaire by using only $55,000? The third style of saving money is how that's possible. Let me explain further by actually starting with a Bible verse. You see, the Bible warns us against trying to get rich quick, and it encourages us to take advantage of how money grows over time. It's found in Proverbs chapter 13, verse 11. It says, "Wealth from get-rich-quick schemes quickly disappears, but wealth from hard work grows over time." Pay close attention to that last phrase. Wealth from hard work grows over time. Those 3 words, grows over time, is one of the greatest concepts you can get your head wrapped around when it comes to investing. Remember these words: compounding interest. Compound interest, or compounding returns, is where your money earns interest, but instead of taking that interest out and spending it, you leave it in the account, and then that interest starts earning interest. That is the snowball effect that I described earlier. Think about how much bigger your snowball got because the snow packed on top of the snow. All three friends started with the same size snowball, but the one that rolled it further, the money that was invested sooner, that grew more over time. Savings accounts, certificates of deposit, mutual funds, stocks and bonds, these are all investment things you hear about, and they all can earn some type of return or interest, and almost all of them allow you to compound your interest. All of them allow the snowball effect to happen. You may have heard about the stock market or Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, or the S&P 500 Index, one of my personal favorites. These all represent investment opportunities in companies from all over the United States. When you hear the phrase a share of stock, I want you to think about a percentage of ownership in a company. If you own one share of stock in Nike, then you literally share in the ownership of that company. One share of Nike stock today is worth about $66. The whole company is worth about $115 billion. The total value of that company is divided out by the number of shares of stock offered to the public. And every time the value of the company goes up or down, the value of your share of stock also goes up or down. Now, when you hear the phrase S&P 500, I don't want to get that too complicated, but I want you to think about the top 500 companies in America. Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, Google, Tesla, many more. You could go out and buy one share of stock in all those companies, or you can invest in a share of what's called the S&P 500 index. That allows you to invest in all 500 companies at one time. Investing in more than one option is a concept called diversification, where you diversify or you divide up your investments through several options. This principle is also found in Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 2, where it says, "Divide your merchandise among 7 or 8 investments, for you do not know what calamity may happen on earth." You ever heard someone say, don't put all your eggs in one basket? And if you drop your basket, then all your eggs will break. This analogy is what we need for what we call diversification. Investing in multiple things will help you manage the risk of investing. I did some research, and I want to end this little video by showing you something really cool. So the S&P 500, you can Google it, learn about it. It started in the 1920s. It's over 100 years old. If someone would have invested $1,000 on the day it started and then didn't touch it, they just let the earnings compound, today it would be worth over $6 million. The initial investment is the snowball you made at the top of the hill. Rolling the ball down the hill, the snowball effect of compounding interest, is how that snowball, that $1,000, turned into $6 million. So how do you become a millionaire using only $55,000? If you take that $7,500 today and invest it in the S&P 500 index fund, and then each month for the next 40 years, you add $100 to it, you will have invested $55,500. If the S&P 500 does what it's always done and continues to average 9.95% annual return, your $55,500 would snowball into $1,022,876. That's the power of compounding interest over time, but you have to start early. I want to encourage you to start saving money while you're young. Build the discipline of saving money into your daily habits. Apply the wisdom of the Bible that I've shared. And above all, don't save money just to have more. Invest it and save it to honor God by being generous, and then let Him bless you to bless others even more.